Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Kulbhushan Chandel from Himachal Pradesh University Shimla. Today we are going to talk on module Power and Politics in Organization Development from paper Organizational Change and Development. Let me know that what we are going to learn from this module. We will explain various sources of conflicts in the organization. We will study the power and power bases. We will study various types of power bases. And finally, we will understand the political environment. The phenomena of the power and politics in the organizations are of negative implications. From the beginning of the society, the democratic people and human rights people have a patronizing look on the use of power and politics in achieving their aims. Moreover, in the organization development field, the human values and ethical concerns for people kept a safe distance from power and politics. Irrespective of the numerous examples of the organization development, every organization tries to keep a safe distance from power to politics. They encompass real life setting where two or more persons interact for task execution and decision making. People have a natural desire to have control over the situation. They also seek to influence decision of the self-interest and interests of their groups and organizations. These types of people often do it at the cost of the organizational goals. Sources of conflict in organization. Then conflicts are inevitable in the organizations. There are numerous sources of the conflict in the organization. Some of them are as follows. Incompatibility of goals. It refers to differences in goals of various units, groups, or individuals in an organization, which can result in conflict. For example, if the production department resists introduction of new products as it requires them to change their production schedule, brings their volume down and reduce efficiency. The marketing department, on the other hand, could ask for new products as consumers demand more variety. Differentiation. It refers to differences in cognitive and emotional orientation of different people. For example, the time orientation of the sales team could be monthly or quarterly, whereas it could be daily or even shift wise in production department. The research team may think of a project spread over a year or two. Task interdependence. The teams might depend on each other for ideas or semi-finished products to complete their jobs. For example, in electronics firm, the production team is dependent on the time taken by research and development for developing the prototype of a new device. The sales team will be dependent upon production team to provide new product. Limited resources. The scarcity of the resources either is financial, human resource or technical resources leads to conflict as different parties compete over the available resources. Like in an IT firm, when there is shortage of skilled software engineers, in the assignment of engineer to various projects, there would be negotiation to get the desired resources. The degree of conflict determines that whether rational or political model of behavior is adopted for accomplishing its goals. Rational model. In rational model, the behavior is based on logic. equally understood and approved by all the concerned members. For example, the organizations have discovered a loop in their security system and all technical experts are trying to rectify it. In this case, the goals are consistent with the organizational goals. All the resources will be diverted to help the experts, and there is likely to be no competition over available resources. The decision making will be logical, and norms of efficiency would be followed to solve the technical malfunction. Then it comes political model. The political model of behavior describes the situation better in context characterized by the different interest groups, separate goals, and diverse values. This model states that the use of power and influence tactics is inevitable to reach decisions when the conflict is of high degree of differentiation or interdependence. Then the rational approach is ineffective. For example, let's take an example of a company suffering from shortage of financial resources and the decision to affect the allocation of annual capital budget across business divisions. Here, the goals are pluralistic, as every decision wants a larger share of total budget. There could be some interest groups who would negotiate, bargain, or compete with each other to fulfill their interests. It describes organizations that strive for participation in decision making by empowering organizational members. Thus, in a wide variety of organizational situations or decisions, organizational development practitioners need to acquire, develop, and wide power to accomplish developmental goals. Power has been defined by various authors. As per Kotter, a measure of person's potential to get others to do what he or she want them to do, as well as to avoid being forced to do what he or she not want to do. Levin describes power as the possibility of inducing forces of a certain magnitude on another person. Hersey and Blanchard defines power as the potential to influence individuals and groups. French and Bell defines power as the capacity to affect organizational outcomes. Burke bridges the gap between ideation of power and its application in OD by proposing that organization development signifies change, and for change to occur in an organization, power must be exercised. Mintzberg viewed politics as a subset of power because it seeks to influence people to protect the interests of self and group organizations. Thus, as stated by French and Bell, politics is essentially power in action in organization. One of the main objectives of organization development is to empower the individuals, the teams, and the organizations by building their capacity in resolving organizational problems. It is facilitated by involving employees in the process of change. Empowerment is achieved when leaders in the organization exercise their power to empower the organizational members. Empowerment flourishes in an organization with a sportive culture and positive politics. Power base. Power base represent the source of persons or organization's power. Persuasive base and then coercive base. Coercive base. Coercive power bases involve the application of the influences to force a person into accepting the ideas, thoughts, or actions as proposed by the influencer. It comprises of the ability to withhold the information, rewards, and resources, the desire for the valued resources, and the fear of having them provides an obedience level from those who are influenced. Coercive power is the most obvious but least effective form of power due to the building of resentment and resistance from the people who experience it. Basis of power in coercive power group. Organizational position. It provides the positional powers. It comprises of the legal power to the person, and such power is associated with the position held by him. For example, defining of the responsibilities. It persuades the subordinates to influence the person with some positional power. Then the punishment. It is known as coercive power. The punishment or coercive power threatens others with inconvenient experiences. It relies on raising fear to remove fear from other people. It also forces person to accept the demand of the influencer. Then the charisma. It comprises of the charismatic power. A charismatic person arouses the strong emotions and gets it completed by inducing the other person to do whatever he or she want to do. In this charismatic power, the individual may discount their ability to act as mature people, competent to make their own choices. Personal relationships. It is emotional power. In comparison to the popular belief, the personal relationship can also be a coercive power. The firstly persons accept the influence due to emotional bond with the influencer. When a person chooses an action or thought driven by emotions, then their choices get limited. Thus, without realizing it, they become coerced and manipulated. Closeness to source of power. There are reflected power. It refers to the power as driven from a person with larger power bases. For example, the secretary of the chairman might use his association with chairman as a source of influencer. Power in this source can also be manipulative in nature. Withholding information and resources. This is manipulated power. Another type of manipulation is the use of negative power. It might lead to inordinate delay in action. Some assistants exercise such power by delaying the confirmation of decisions made or not passing the documents forward or for approval. Persuasive base. Persuasive power base involves the guiding of others towards the adoption of idea, attitude, or action after reflecting on the available sources. It is more effective in influencing the desired outcome as people feel empowered in the process and do not harbor the notions as manipulated or coerced into the decision. The various persuasive power are explained as expertise. It is expert power. It refers to the power derived from skill and experience of the person and the need of the organization for those skill. Competence. The competence is the another competence power. A competent person is powerful by the virtue of being effective in achieving the desired results. The influencer demonstrates the ability and knowledge to accomplish the task. For example, a competent manager is successful in influencing the team members because manager is capable and well qualified to get the results. Being a role model. These are referent power holders. Referent power derives from ability of individual to attract others and build loyalty by being a role model. A person who uses and lives certain values influences people to behave in the same manner. Rewards. The reward is the reinforcing power. Reward is a part of persuasive power because reward encourages people to experiment and give them more independence. Reward power depends on the ability of power wielders to confer valued reward like appreciation, promotion, gift, etc. It reinforces the desired behavior by rewarding it, but ultimate choice is with individual. Caring and helping others. These are extensive power like caring for people and helping them to develop and lead to the empowerment of the people. Then the information. The information is the logical power. Many people are influenced by the fact and information which is shared with them. They make choices on that basis also. This can be called as logical power due to its dependence on rational aspects of information. Operating in political environment. The organization development practitioners operate in a potentially strong power base which could be used as an advantage. According to French and Raven, the organization's development consultant possesses the power from the below mentioned basis. Legitimate power. In legitimate power, the organization development consultants are authorized by the organization's decision makers. Then the expert powers. In expert power, the consultant possesses the expert knowledge. Then it is information power. In information power, the consultant has wealth of information about the strengths and weaknesses of the organizations. Then the referent powers. In referent powers, others can identify with and be attracted to the consultant. These sources of power influence and produce a substantial power base that will enhance the likelihood of the success. According to Michael Beer, the additional means to gain power in organizations by organization development group are competence, which demonstrate competence, and it proves to be the most important source of power, acceptability, and ability to gain organizational support. Political access and sensitivity. Cultivating and nurturing multiple relationships with key power figures in the organization that will ensure timely information and multiple sources of support. Then the sponsorships. Organization development groups will gain over to the extent that they have sponsorships in powerful places. This maxim has been recognized for years under the top level support of the program. Political environment, stature and credibility. Beer notes that power accrues to those who are successful and effective. Success leads to the credibility and stature. Early successes in organization development program and its usefulness to key managers of the organization help to promote this reputation. Then the resource management. Power accrues to those who control resources, such as the resources of the organization development, expertise, and ability to help organizational subunits to solve their pressing problems. Group support. If the organization developments group are strong internally, then it will be strong externally too. If the group is cohesive and free of internal dissension, it will gain power. There are several rules of thumbs which can be implied by the fact that power accrues to person who control valued resources of commodities. Some of them are as under: become a desired commodity, both a person and professional. Becoming a desired commodity as a person means being interpersonal competence by virtue of their training, experience, and expertise. Skills such as listening, communicating, problem solving, coaching, counseling, and showing appreciation for strengths of others are component of interpersonal competence. Good organizations development practitioners will have learned and practiced these skills. Being trustworthy means being reliable, dependable, and honest in dealing with others. Skills and traits are highly valued in social exchanges. Persons who possesses them become desired commodities and accrue power. The organization development program should be made a desired commodity. These programs become desired commodities when they are instrumental that allow individuals and organizations to reach their goals. These programs must be result oriented. There is one more way of making these programs an effective one by focusing on the important issues, those which are vital to the organization's success. The OD program should be made such that it is valued commodity for multiple powerful people in the organization. When these programs serve the needs of top executive, then it gains the feeling of respect and protection which sets its above most political entanglements. There should be win-win situation. The nature of organizations and the nature of organizational development suggest that it should have a win-win solution to every problem. Organizations are social systems in which members have both history and a future of effective and interacting conflict management techniques. Many organization development interventions promote these types of win-win solution to conflict situations. The organization development professionals are skilled in the conflict management techniques. The organization development program must be focused on the legitimate goals and should also seek to it, such as which goals are to be followed, who should be promoted, and all. All these types of decisions must be made on the organizational goals. The legitimate role of OD practitioners is facilitator, catalyst, problem solvers, and educators. Let's summarize what we have learned in this module. We came to know that the phenomena of the power and politics in the organizations are having the negative implications. From the beginning of the society, the democratic people and human rights people have a patronizing look on the use of power and politics in achieving their aims. Moreover, in the organization development field, the human values and ethical concerns for people kept a safe distance from power and politics. Irrespective of the numerous examples of the organization development, every organization tries to keep a safe distance from power to politics. They encompasses real life settings where two or more persons interact for task execution and decision making. People have a natural desire to have control over the situation. They also seek to influence decisions of self-interest and interests of their groups and organizations. These types of people often do it at the cost of organizational goals. Power has been defined by various authors. As per Coates, 1985, a measure of the person's potential to get others to do what he or she wants them to do as well as to avoid being forced to do what he or she not want to do. Levin describes power as the possibility of including forces of a certain magnitude on another person. Power base represents the source of persons or organizations' power. Coercive power bases involve the application of influences to force a person into accepting the ideas, thoughts, or actions as proposed by the influencers. It comprises of the ability to withhold the information, rewards, and resources. The desire for valued resources and the fear of having them provides an obedience level from those who are influenced. Coercive power is the most obvious but least effective form of power due to the building of resentment and resistance from the people who experience it. Persuasive power base involves the guiding of others towards the adoption of idea, attitude, or action after reflecting on the available resources. It is more effective in influencing the desired outcomes as people feel empowered in the process and do not harbor the notions as manipulated or coerced into the decisions. The organization development program should be made a desired commodity. These programs become desired commodities when they are instruments that allow individuals and organizations. These programs must be result oriented. There is one or more way of making these programs an effective one by focusing on the important issues, those which are vital to the organization's success. The organization development program should be made such that it is valued commodity for multiple powerful people in the organization. When these programs serves the needs of top executives, then it gains the feeling of respect and protection which set its above most political entanglements. Power and politics are similar in nature, arising from unknown conditions and are amenable to positive control. The suggestions for using power to operate effectively in organizations may help practitioners in avoiding perils and pitfalls of power that go with the territory of organizational change. Organizational power can grow in part by being shared. Sharing power is different from giving or throwing it away. The concerned managers have to create appropriate systems and processes to ensure that institutional goals are achieved. It should be noted that a leader does not decrease his or her personal power by empowering others. Instead, the power is increased, especially if the whole organization performs better. The total amount of power is related to the total effectiveness. So when people feel more powerful, more is accomplished. Thank you.